going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this upload, we're fixing another oil leak on the Jeep. As funny as that sounded in my head, I don't know why, but we're fixing another oil leak on the Jeep. Let's get to it. What this video basically is tackling is, if I stick my hand right in here, there is a seal between this piece right here and this piece right here. That seal is leaking, and it's common on these Cherokees. And so the question is, how do you replace it? And I'm not going to be the one to say that I already know, because even this monkey with a toolbox had to do some YouTube edumacating to be able to make this video. So, what I ended up doing is I went to AutoZone and I picked me up a Pro gasket kit. Has everything you need. I think either that's the part number on it, or I think that's the part number on it. But that, as well as this T60 Torx bit. But if you recognize, there's only about 2.5 inches clearance. You're not going to be able to fit a ratchet on that. So what I have been taught and or told is you put this chrome piece in a vise, you take your good old punch and you get your good old punch and you punch this piece out. This here is like a 12 or 13 millimeter, something like that. You put your wrench on there and just have at it. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so guys, we got it all punched out, and this wrench here is a 14 millimeter. I actually guessed below, but let's go ahead and get it on there, and let's get it off and see what we got to deal with. Alright, well folks, she is off. There it is right there, down there. And about 30 minutes of me saying words I'm not proud of and wondering how the hell I'm going to get this thing off. I figured it out finally. If we tip this over, you'll notice that some of them are Allen key and some of them are Torx bit. This one just so happens to be Allen. So what ended up happening is once I pressed this little gem out, I just stuck this end into there, and this end right here just so happens to fit perfectly onto the end of a boxed end 12 millimeter wrench, and I just gave her hell. So, and about a couple ugga-duggas later, she popped right loose. So let's go ahead and get this gasket changed, get this sucker back on here, and let's see what she does. So I'm replacing the gasket, and I just put this new one on. It's all nice and fresh and stuff, versus this is the one that I just picked out. As you can see, those little rubber gaskets, they lose their roundness, and as you can tell, I mean, I know you can't really feel the difference on the camera, but that one's really flexible, versus this is like really stiff. Like, I'm surprised it's not cracked yet. It's real stiff. So that, and plus this little screw right here comes out, which is where 2 of these gaskets go on. I've got to figure out which one that is. It says it on the back, so we'll go ahead and press that sucker out and get that done and put it back on. Alright, so I got these 2 gaskets on. This gasket right here ended up breaking in half on me, but this, if you notice, this slot right here matches up with this dowel pin that is right there above my finger. That is basically an alignment pin to make sure this thing is clocked right when you're putting the filter adapter back on. So with that further ado, let's go ahead and get this sucker pressed in and on the Jeep so that we can fire it up and make sure nothing leaks. Alright, so it is now back screwed on like it was. You basically just screw it off like you screwed it. You basically screwed it on like you screwed it off, except what I did was I left the bolt piece, I left it popped out so that I could twist it in the socket to make sure I didn't cross thread it into the block. I did that and just mainly let it seat itself inside of the thing, and then I hand torqued it down about as good as I could get it. These things don't really need to be, they need to be torqued, but the complication of getting a torque wrench in there to actually do it is a little bit on the sketchy side. So I'm going to come back and figure out how to do that, but for right now, it'll be fine. So, only thing left to do now is clean up your tools, clean up your mess, and let's fire this puppy up and make sure she don't leak. Let the fuel pump prime. Well, I've let her run for a little bit. She's up to about operating temperature now and no leaks whatsoever, so I call that a win. So, that being said, I hope this was informational. I hope that y'all had I hope that y'all got something from this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. If you want more content and cheap how-to stuff like this, please consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll see y'all next time.